Steven Otten and Ronan's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties and views to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steven Otten, you're using brother, let's go.
Yeah, he looks like me, doesn't he? All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me, and welcome to this week's episode of Unscripted. I'd like to thank everyone currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Joining us already here in the chat, host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. My co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast, Since Corner. Host of Geeky Geezers, beginning at the top of the next hour, my co-host on live from Sparkwood 21, Aged Boomer. Please don't forget to hit the like, share out the stream, let everyone know that we are on. Now, there were a number of things that I could have talked about this week. I could have talked about those who have chosen to break the law or invade the country, as I see it, and the politicians that are quite frankly propping these people up. I could have talked about why the news media and law enforcement choose to call gang shootings mass shootings so that they can take weapons away from law-abiding citizens. I could have talked about this whole merger situation between WB, Netflix, and Paramount. But, I think there's time enough for that. And even though those are the popular subjects, I decided, it's not really something I wanted to talk about. So what do you do when you are a pop culture channel? And I do consider myself that. I consider myself a pop culture channel. But you don't want to talk about pop culture that week. What do you do? What do you do when you choose to not be angry? When you choose to not be depressed? You can watch the numbers fall, as I'm doing right now, because I have just told you what I'm not going to be talking about this week. I tell you what I am going to be talking about this week. We're going to be talking about good things. We are going to be looking at the fun part of life. We're going to be talking about you. going to be talking about what's coming up for the channel. Now, those of you who have seen the title of today's show, some of you I know what that means. And you also know the other truth, which was Sandford was a lie. It was all artifice. It was all about face value, the greater good. But what is that exactly? And I sit here and I ask myself these questions now because A, I'm getting older. B, I have people who are willing to hear me out, which is something that is new in my experience. I was not the popular kid in school. I know, big shock, right? I was the kid who read books and liked to go to movies. That's not very popular. I didn't hang out and do drugs and make a nuisance out of myself. I did what I always thought was the right thing, whether that did any good for me or not. Usually not. And I can't say that I was perfect, but who is at the end of the day? That's why I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to run anybody down. I'm not here to start feuds. I'm not here to hack on other channels. I'm not here to tell other channels how they should rerun. I'm not going to do that. I'm not here for that. Because as I've said previously, I came here and I found a second family. And a family that I talk to more than I talk to my own. Because out of my family, I'm the only one who's still here. And everybody else has scattered to the winds. Half the time, honestly, I don't even know where the hell they even are. I don't hear from them, and they don't hear from me. Not a lot of the time, anyway. And yeah, that's on me. And I know why in some cases, because I live in an area of the country where there's a certain stigma attached. I'm like the right wing guy in what is now a family of lefties, So there's that on top of it. There are two things that you can always be sure about. One is you don't pick your family, and the second one is you don't meet your heroes. And, I've kind of gotten those at both barrels this year. But again, not here to talk about that. And hello to D. Penzac. And Boomer says, let's talk about being a competition. Exactly. So let's talk about that. There is a thing that worries me there. I do say be the competition because I think we have reached a point where we can certainly compete against mainstream Hollywood. And I think the numbers are proving out. There are channels here on YouTube that are being watched by more people than the entire top 20 films out right now combined. And granted, I don't have those kind of numbers. Wish I did, but I don't. And I'm happy for what I have. And to all of the new subscribers, welcome, because there were a few this week. I don't. What I fear the most is that we become each other's competition. That's the thing that worries me more than anything. We can take down the giants. And I think we're on the way to doing that. But at the same time, we must also remember not to turn on each other. Because I don't know what term you choose to use. Community, fellowship, whichever. Let us be careful to not break that fellowship, that community. Because we've really built something here, especially over the last few years. And I'm not ready to let it go just yet. So, anybody who might be feuding, anybody who wants to run someone else down, because and exactly what D. Penzak says in the chat, never lose sight of what got you here. Exactly. And that is a concern that I have. That there will be people who will forget who and what got them here. I know I remember. We can be the competition, but we're not competing against each other. And hello to Tim. I don't want that for us. But I do see it from time to time, and it worries me when it happens. there are people who are in this for fame and notoriety. There are people who are here to make themselves known because they have a talent that they would like to take to the next level. You may be a filmmaker, you may be a writer, you may be an animator, and this is a good way to network with people. Now, one thing that can happen is that, you know, maybe someone fails or things don't turn out as they had hoped. And no, trust me, I know all about that. The best thing I have is this channel. And what I like to think I've built it into. And I wouldn't be here without help. I would be here. I mean, I maybe I would be here, but maybe I wouldn't be quite the same channel. But there is good news on the way. And that's what I want to fixate on this week. Is there are going to be things coming up for this channel that I think are going to be really special. And Sunday nights on this channel are going to be different. But it's going to be good because I got a good feeling about it. And you're going to be hearing about that over the upcoming weeks. There are going to be some changes for this channel, but they're going to be changes that are going to be good. This is going to be Deleted Scenes 2.0. When I first came to YouTube, the whole situation with the Alec Baldwin and Rust were going on. And now, earlier this year, having seen the film and reviewed it, along with Outlaw Bill, when we saw it together for the first time on his Western Cinema program, I kind of looked at that as the end of Act 1. I felt I had come full circle to following a story at the beginning, covering it on other programs and also on my channel, and then kind of seeing everything play out. And looking back on the things that I supported, like Rogue Elements and Shelby Oaks and Aripiverse, and seeing these things come to fruition. And I am here tonight, proud to be involved with everything I got involved with, and have no regrets. I don't regret one appearance I've ever made on another channel. I haven't regretted a single show that I've done here on this channel, even the ones that were maybe not as good, or maybe the ones that went off the rails, even the mistakes. And I've made a few. But never forget where you came from and how you got started and who got you here. And that is one thing that I will for sure never do. I will never forget. So anybody who comes to this channel expecting to see drama, expecting to see feuds, expecting to see some big knockout, drag out fight take place on the air, that's not going to happen. Because I remember who got me here. And I remember the people that come back week to week and hear me put my 2 cents out on this program for and about whatever. This is not a news show, even though I sometimes cover news events. This is not a news show. This is an opinion show. It's all it's ever been. But I like to think it's the longest running show on my channel for a reason. And that's why I come back week to week. Even if I don't necessarily have anything to say. Maybe if I don't necessarily come in with a plan. This show is called Unscripted for a reason. None of this is ever written down. I come up with something that I want to talk about, and then I just take it from there. And there were a number of news stories this week, and I just, put a knife in them because I just didn't feel like going into any of that. Let's not jump the gun about anything. Let's wait until we have all of the answers. I can go on right now and talk about WB and Netflix and all of this other stuff, but there's a lot that has to happen, folks. And I got that email from Netflix that's playing like this is all already a done deal. It's not. Dude, you got the FCC to deal with first. All right, before you go in and do anything else. Guess what? Congress don't like monopolies. Neither does the FCC. And we have a president in office right now who is not afraid to speak his mind. Even though the mainstream press tries to make him look like he's a racist or make him look crazy or make him look like he's a doddering old fool when they propped up a guy who actually was. You got to look through all that and see what's important. And what's important is that none of us would be here without each other. And that's what I wanted to talk about this week. Especially this time of year. I mean, guys, we're coming up on Christmas already. It was a quick year. And I spent it here with you, and I'm happy with that. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. But we got through it, and we got through it together. And yeah, we stumbled, we fell, but there was always somebody there to pick us up. And that's what I choose to remember. Speaking of which, I don't want to forget the chat. Tim says we all come from different backgrounds and have different opinions about things, but we all get along here. Exactly. And I want to see that continue. Hello to our man from the future, Sashi. Greetings, everyone. So over on Sci-Fi Mommy's channel, we wish her and Connie Clary a happy birthday. Yes, getting ready for work now. Yes, it is Connie's birthday this week. So if you see her in the chats, guys, please wish her a happy birthday. All right, you going off to work. All right, well, take care, Sashi. I think I must have missed some drama. That's been going on? Yes and no. I'll tell you about it behind the scenes. Let me see. Scroll down. It says, D says, I feel like you've been true to yourself here on your channel, and so it keeps me coming back. Because I don't know how to be anything other than myself. So I hope I can keep bringing you the show that brings you back week to week. Hello to you, Sarn G. Hello, JPRPH1, channel member. Tim says, we all know Disney bought Fox just for Marvel and what was up to the Star Wars stuff they needed. Yep. Looking that way. So we have the new year coming up. And I see good things on the horizon. It's like that scene in Spinal Tap. I feel it. It's time to kick ass. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to get there together. Let's make this next year the best year we've had. And I'm going to be there with you. In the movie, Sandford was a lie. But I think we can build something better. And in 2026, we're going to do that. But for right now, we're going to take these few weeks. We're going to get some rest. We're going to do all of our year-end type of programming. And this channel is going to continue. No reserved seats tonight, but it will return next week at 11 p.m. with writer Albert Lanier as my guest. I will be appearing tomorrow night on Last Call Members Night at the Movies. So if you're a member of Troy Paddy's channel, I'll see you over there. Tuesday will be the Mystery Movie Night podcast. Thursday, 4:30, join Outlaw Bill and myself for action theater. This week's movie will be The Philadelphia Experiment from 1984 with Michael Pare and Nancy Allen. Later on that night will be my program, the coming attractions, your chance to find out what I'm going to be up to, my chance to touch base with you, my loyal subscribers and channel members. And I do hope to do at least one more member stream before the end of the year. I'm going to try for 2, but I'm definitely going to do at least one no matter what. Date and time to be determined. I do want to remind everybody I will be joining Big Al Presents this Friday night at 8 for Films with Friends. This week's movie will be Krampus. And hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be able to join Off the Cover and the gang over on Thirsty Thursdays at starting at 8 p.m. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. We've built something here. We've built something good. And I think we can improve on it. But let's never lose sight of who and what got us here. That's the show for tonight. No, it was a bit of a short one. But we do have Geeky Geezers coming up here at the top of the hour. If you stay till through the end credits, you will be automatically redirected to that program. I do want to thank everybody currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. And I want to thank everybody that was with us in the chat tonight. Sin, Al, Tim, D. Penzak, Usarn G, Boomer, Sashi, and everyone who might be listening in but hasn't engaged with the chat, which is perfectly fine. Just as long as you enjoy the show, hit the like, share out the stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member, gift out a membership. Okay. Take care, Usarn G. See you there. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Never forget where you came from or who got you here. Because this is how we win.
It's even odd Neuronins back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes, where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties with views to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Speed up on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.
Oh, by the way, I made the thumbnail myself. Do you like it?